Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides of the universal energies. Right, Mercury retrograde. Deep breath. Just let it all swill over you. Oh goodness me, if anything could go wrong yesterday, it went wrong. But it also then reminded me, I'm kind of glad our property negotiation is in a stalemate at the moment. Neither side willing to budge, which is not a bad thing given that we're in Mercury retrograde at the moment and really shouldn't be signing any legal contracts for the next few weeks. So if it takes another 3 to 4 weeks to actually get moving again, I am more than happy at that. Okay, what do I want to have a look at in this particular reading? Entertainment only. A little bit late today, got caught up in the chat of a live. I love being in the chat of a live, chatting to all you guys and exploring possibilities. But much more than being on a live or even on a recorded collaboration. But what I want to have a look at in this particular reading is I'm going to do the Wall Street Journal thing. I touched on that yesterday. Oh, goodness me, the Wall Street Journal and Rupert have so much more up their sleeve. I'm also not going to touch on Dick Durbin. I did a long video on that yesterday, which, disappeared into the ether. Dick Durbin in the Senate Judiciary Committee, he's demanded that Bondi explain further about the emails or letters or whatever it was that he has in his possession that passed between Bondi Patel and Bongino about the Epstein files that they have in their possession, and Bondi asking for Patel to turn, I've got all these, can you give me the rest please, blah, 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 blah. Dick Durbin does not ask a question unless he already knows the answer. So he's setting these three up to actually tell the truth. He knows the answer. He's got the truth. He's setting them up to see whether they can tell the truth. And if they do, it'll be okay, right? Yeah, okay. And if they don't, it'll be our wham bam. It's a bit like the rest of the world is allowing the US the opportunity to reveal about the election fraud, and if they don't, the rest of the world will step in. So it's basically the same sort of vibe. Okay, the baked bean tin has been dropped in the campfire. We are just waiting for it to explode, and as we do, I am waiting for it to explode as more and more information comes out there with the Five of Wands and the Knight of Cups. But what I want to have a look at is I'm going to have a look at, well, yes, another one at entertainment only at Netanyahu. So basically what happened is that Netanyahu was up for corruption trial. Oh dear, how sad, never mind, happened to have bombed Iran. Oh dear, the trial's going to have to be delayed. Fortunately, Iran didn't take the bait. Made saber rattling and stuff back again, but didn't end up an all-scale war. Because what's basically happening is the Gaza conflict is winding down. The energy of that's always been awful. That's winding down, so he's desperately trying to create another diversion. I was kind of surprised he actually went back to Israel because what happened? So bombed Iran. Okay, the corruption trial was delayed. It was then set for X date. Oh dear, I happen to be going to the US that date. Damn shame, it'll have to be delayed again. So he and his wife Sarah came back from the US, and I'm really feeling there was some plotting that went on there. I'm not sure whether it was, yeah, okay, thank you. I was going to say I'm not sure whether he was, they said no to him, but I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that they said no to him. I'm getting that they did some plotting. So he's gone back to Israel with his little plot under his arm. And the trial was then again supposed to start a couple of days ago. Oh dear, just happened to get food poisoning that just happens to last for the length of time for the court to go into the summer recess. Oh, So basically, okay, he went back and then he bombed Syria, and there were no bites there. Okay, let me get it right. Bombed Syria, there were no bites. Yes, I know there's a lot more involved in that than what I actually said. There's some really good explanations in the comments of that particular video. But again, Syria didn't bite back as expected. So therefore, oh dear, how sad. Got food poisoning that just happened to last until the court went to recess. So the trial's now being delayed until September, but he cannot avoid the information that's coming out. This is the false friend putting information forward. This is probably him. Oh dear, how sad, I ate a bad prawn. He cannot avoid this moment, and it is coming. And I suspect I don't know which one will go first, whether it'll be the orange twerp or the knowledge of Putin being deceased. And then Netanyahu goes very rapidly afterwards. Susan Lynn, I think, has given it about 6 months. I don't even think it'll be that long. I suspect the actual moment will come early September. Which one it is, I'm not quite sure. I mean, that baked beans can is in that far, and if you've ever been on a camping trip and dropped one in, you know all about it. We're just waiting for it to explode. But I want to have a look at Netanyahu. Now, I think there are 3 dozen countries that came out and absolutely condemned what is happening in Gaza. I mean, let me write a sternly written letter. As they're now, Israeli troops are firing on aid stations and people trying to get water and cutting off the power to the water supply. It's just ghastly, and it is literally. And he's been saying it for years and years and years, if not decades, Netanyahu, because he was, I believe, leader back in the 90s as well. That his intention was to wipe Palestine off the map. The Palestinians off the map. He's been saying it for years and years and years, and that's what he's attempting to do at the moment. But I want to have a look. Supposed food poisoning. Was it genuinely food poisoning? Was it genuinely food poisoning? Or did someone slip him a Mickey Finn? Come on down. Let's have a look. Was it genuinely food poisoning? 9 of Wands. Having to surrender a plan because the guardrails are standing. Surrendering. Bringing forth a plan to surrender. Okay, was this can't avoid the trial, so he's putting forward this new message, this new explanation, because wands can mean messages as well. Putting forward a new excuse. I don't think it's cutting it. Challenged by the secrets coming to the surface. I don't think he had food poisoning. And I don't think somebody poisoned him. I just think it was an excuse, the latest in a line of excuses, because he doesn't want the secrets getting out there. His whole family is implicated. The energy is stewing in. I believe his wife Sarah had been up on corruption charges in the past, and somehow they mysteriously got dismissed. Okay, in the past. Out in the cold. I don't think it's him out in the cold. I think this is more he's wanting to stay warm in his. I think he's leaving the courts out in the cold, to be honest. With that 5 of Pentacles, I think he's just leaving the courts out in the cold. They've been trying to. Trust me, in September he's going to come up with another excuse, if not beforehand. So he's got now 2 months to come up with something drastic. In the past, yeah, this is just excuse after excuse. Crowning this reading, we've got the Star card on full display. The narcissist on full display. He's better at covering up his narcissism than the orange twerp is. He's more of a smoother operator, but yeah, absolutely wanting to hang on to his star. The immediate future, the fading misogynistic relationships are coming into play. So the near future, the partnerships that he has garnered, and you're talking about the likes of Orban. Who's the other one that's is it Turkey? Erdogan. Not so much Erdogan, but Orban, the Kremlin, the Orange Twerp. As those relationships fade, or as those world leaders fade in their power, he's going to get caught up in it. Externally, emotionally overwhelming. The eye is opening, seeing exactly what has happened. It's like this last one was just one excuse too many, is what I'm getting. One excuse too many to stomach. Tide is turning on these people everywhere. Internally, we've got the government. His government is crumbling as the alliances threaten to tear apart. So internally, the government is turning into a nightmare situation for him. He can't come up with another excuse quick enough. The Fool, is he going on a new journey? Be careful what you wish for as the rat poops in your cup, because when you tie yourself to the devil demands his due. And then the Page of Cups. Could be unexpected news, or it could be something toxic in the cup. I keep getting him and Sarah are going to take the Aldolf and Eva, was that her name? Way out when they're trapped. Because be careful what's in your cup here with that rat pooping in it up in the rafters, because the devil always demands his due. If you go down that path, you will have to pay the piper. Is that Russia? Or is that the healing, the painful rebirth, and the people coming together as a community? Got this Three of Wands, the fleeing overseas, the High Priestess, the hidden agenda revealed, and the Magician, the manipulation, the unable to harvest, the lies being revealed, and explosive information coming forward about mercenary actions that is just going to become too much, and he's been going to be thrown under the bus. And you've then got the poor choices, or one obvious choice, and then we've got the legislators making a ruling about his false victory. A lot of information coming out very quickly, a harsh truth presenting itself, and then perhaps taking the Aldolf way out, because it's the end of his legacy, and it's either this or that. Death or the King of Swords. Yeah, I think he's run out of excuses. I think this is the last this is the last option he has. So what's going to happen with Netanyahu in September? What's he going to do? Gosh, another 2 months away. What's going to happen? What's Netanyahu going to do between now and when the courts reconvene in September? What's Netanyahu going to do between now and when the courts reconvene in September? King of Cups. We the people, not necessarily the US. This might be the or he might just be getting himself off his face the entire time. or negotiations. This is my negotiation diplomat card. Might become, okay, thank you. What they're telling me is he's going to be attempting some sort of negotiation. Now, whether this is an international plea deal or something, I think he's going to try and negotiate. But his challenge is that what he has done is just too overwhelmingly emotive and requires a cleansing. At the foundation, we've got the military. Is there going to be a military coup or something? At the foundation, we've got, it's my military card, but it's also moving forward. In the past, trying to keep things secret, trying to keep his corruption secret. It's not going to continue though. And crowning this reading, the King of Pentacles. So we've got the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. This can be my flee-on card. Space Boy, soon to be ex-CEO of Tesla, because he got all his money from it via his father's emerald mine. I think that actually stings him a lot too. Did a big reading on it yesterday. I think the fact that his father groomed his 2-year-old stepsister for years, before doing a Woody Allen. I think it also stings that he got his seed money from his father's emerald mine, because they don't get on at all. And I'm sure his father tells him at every possible opportunity, you would be a nobody if it wasn't for me. Is this flee-on though? Or is this simply the oligarchs? I'm getting the Saudis. Okay, after that big long explanation, I'm getting this is is it the Saudis or Qatar or Dubai or somewhere like that, where they love gilding. If it stands still for long enough, they gild it. So negotiations. Right, what's he going to do between now and September? The light is going to be shone on the snake in the path. He's going to find himself exposed on many levels. He's going to be on the back foot, defensive externally, internally, trying to get his money out overseas. How's this all going to end for him? It's almost like he's going to spend this next 2 months setting things up for his getaway. What's he going to try and do? It's my money laundering card. So I'm not getting like bombing anything. I don't even know if he's got any bombing options left. But he knows he's lost. He knows he's lost with this 5 of Cups. He's still got a couple of options available to him though. And I think it might be to do with getting out of the country. Right, the outcome, the 2 of Wands. Trying to make a plan. But you've got then the hidden agenda being revealed about the manipulation. And the devil is going to demand his dues. The devil. He's not going to be able to achieve what he wants to achieve with that 7 of Pentacles. The lies and the stealing is going to be exposed. Queen of Wands. This might be his wife, perhaps, because then we've got the Lovers card. The Lovers rapidly turning into a nightmare situation where the truth is revealed. 9 of Swords, Ace of Swords. He's going to face justice. Then he's going to make a choice. Now, I'm not going to say for sure that they're going to take the Aldolf Ada way out, but he's going to make a choice about it when he feels like he's trapped and there's no way forward. And he's going to find himself cast out in the cold and trapped, facing legal action, and there is strength in this legal action. We've then got the Queen of Pentacles, his wife and money potentially, the end of this money troughing. Four of Swords, being forced to retreat as the harsh truth comes out about this false victory, and then we've got the Tower moment, complete and utter downfall for him. This is a really interesting card for me. He's going to have options that he's going to try and choose from, and one of those options is that he is going to be really, him and his wife are going to be angsting about as to whether they drink the cup, is what I get. Okay. Is he laying plans? Is he laying plans? So is that part of him going to the US to lay plans to get out of Dodge? He's going to spend this 2 months because he's tried bombing Iran, didn't work, tried bombing Syria, didn't work, went to the US, had a talk to good old buddy boys. Food poisoning there's that King of Pentacles again, whoever that is. Is he going to try and lay plans to get out of Dodge? I'm not going to ask whether he's going to succeed. Is he laying plans to get out of Dodge? Well, this is like take his money with him, perhaps. Is he laying plans to get out of Dodge? The Hierophant, the government, or the higher authorities, the International Criminal Court. Is he laying plans to get out of Dodge? Again, I think this might be the Supreme Court. Remember last year? Was it last year or the year before? It was just, that's what happened. Okay, okay, thank you. They're reminding me that just before the attack was made in Israel by supposed Hamas, I'm not saying they didn't do it, but I'm not saying that they acted alone. Just before that, he tried to get rid of the Supreme Court. They're the ones that are going to be holding him accountable for this corruption. He tried to get rid of them. Lo and behold, that fell through, and literally within a couple of breaths, this attack took place. Now, this attack, you got to remember that the location and was changed at the last minute. The musicians were caught on the hop, and the festival was extended by a day, and it was that extended day that the attack happened. So he's been for years trying to avoid being held accountable. Is he laying the plans? Nightmare situation. The Lovers again, trying to negotiate something. Revelations of the lies and betrayal, and then this cup, this toadstool cup being offered. He might be, and it gets revealed and thwarted with that this is trying to lay plans about which way to go. But the fact that it turns into a nightmare. Logically, one would think he would go to Florida where his son is, but I don't think that's a healthy environment for them at the moment and going forward. Mainly because the US isn't a signatory to the ICC. He's running out of places he can go. I'm intrigued by who this is. that he's negotiating with. That's not him. There's somebody he's negotiating with, but I think it's going to fall apart. Two of Swords, whistleblower, Knight of Pentacles, mercenary action, and then the Ace of Pentacles, the family getting trapped, loss, disappointment, and then everything being revealed to the people with the Ten of Cups. Yeah, I'm just going to say I think he's in negotiations, but I don't think he's going to be able to. You've got the narcissist on the bottom here. You've got the narcissist, the living the life of luxury, the wealthy life, but trapped in a gilded cage. I mean, if he went to somewhere like Saudi Arabia or Qatar or somewhere, he wouldn't be able to leave. He's making an offer, trying to find somewhere where he can live in luxury, and he's making an offer, or he may even be the offer, take my wife. But you've then got the courts, the sword of truth, and the throwing under the bus, the attempted money laundering, being information about it being brought forward, fully exposed, and complete and utter downfall. I think he's, goodness me, I hope he's not getting advice off the orange twerp about how to go about this, because it's not going to work for him either. It's almost, the feeling is almost like that they are making plans to meet up somewhere. If we both do this, if we plan to meet up somewhere, like entertainment only, if we plan to meet up somewhere, if we both do it, then we'll be right, and neither of them succeeds, is my feels. Okay, watch this space. I think he's run out of excuses. He's spending this time trying to work out, where do I go now? Have fun with that. Okay, look after yourselves. Be aware. Don't immerse yourself. Just know that we need to pace ourselves. This is a relay race, not necessarily, well, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but it's also a relay marathon. Pass the baton over to somebody else when you need a break. None of us are expected to do the whole lot by ourselves, and that's why I say check out other readers, because a lot are getting snippet information on other topics. Rosie, Denise Knight, divination, David from Tarot by the Bay, Lena, she finds some interesting stuff out. Gosh, I could list dozens of them, but seek them all out and see who relates with what you feel, and go from there. Love to you all. Catch you shortly. Take care. Bye-bye.